Do you think that only new books sell during the holidays? That's what I thought, or at least that's what made sense to me or seemed logical, and also what quite a few people have written on various Facebook groups related to book selling, as well as bloggers who sell books for a living online and been doing it for quite a while, seem to think, or based on their experience, believe that only new books sell during the holidays. But in my first holiday season with a decent amount of books in Amazon warehouses, probably 1,800, 1,900 books, plus some, several hundred other items. But in terms of books, I had less than that, probably 1,800, 1,900. I sold a lot of used books. Now, when I sell a book, it's almost always used because I have rarely listed a book as new because number one, I hardly find new books. And even if I found a new book, I would probably be more comfortable listing it as like new. And if there's a book that's like new, I'm typically going to list it as very good. Because I prefer for my conditions to undersell them and over deliver. So when they receive the book, even though it's very good, it looks like it's brand new just off the shelf. If it's good, it's leaning more towards very good. And acceptable, it's leaning more towards good. You get the point. So when I sell a book at any point in the year, but during the holidays, it's used. So I sold over 100 books between the day after Thanksgiving and December 23rd. And then I sold over 40 other items as well, VHS tapes, CDs, video games, toys, etc. But books did really well for me, and the bulk of those sales were made 2 weeks before Christmas, when I was making a lot of sales every single day. Now remember, this is not with a lot of inventory. While if you're starting out, 1,800, 1,900 books might seem like a lot. It's not a lot if you want to sell sell thousands and thousands of dollars a week or a month on Amazon, especially during the holidays. Now, if I had had 4,000 books, that number would be significantly larger, and that's what I'm working towards for the next holidays. I sold a good amount for me of books, used books. So if you are thinking about the next holidays and you're starting out now, sending in books to Amazon, don't worry about not having a lot of new books, or if maybe you don't have very many at all. Because based on my experience this past month, I sold a lot of used books, and people still buy them. They might be presents. They also might buy them for themselves. But in terms of used books, it does really well during the holidays, and I was not really worried, but a little bit worried about that. It's also good to have some other media items in there as well, because those sell as gifts even if they're used, such as VHS tapes and CDs and video games. So I highly recommend working hard this year to get as many books as you can into inventory for the holidays. Of course, there's also January and February of next year for textbook season or back to school season, and then there's August and part of September for back to school, which are awesome as well. But my holidays beat out my back to school in August, which was my best month, or August and September combined, my best months. And of course, I had more inventory in there, but nonetheless, those 3 times a year are the best. And don't worry about not having new books. Just send in those books. Don't have mostly acceptable books. I would recommend having mostly good to very good to like new. But nonetheless, people will buy used books. Remember, keep booking.